Mga kapuso, tuloy ang paghahanap sa 4 na nawawala sa landslide sa Banawi, Ifugao noong Huwebes, kasunod ng bagyong Ulysses.
Dahil sa mga pag-uulan nitong weekend pa lang, nagkaroon na ng pagguho ng lupa kung saan natabunan ng isang bahay na gawa sa light materials.
Isang mababaw na ilog sa Romblon ang biglang kinakitaan ng sinkhole.
Nakatayo sa landslide-prone area ang Philippine Science High School sa Baguio. May ilang bahay din na sinkhole pala ang nasa ilalim.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, our topic for today is all about landslides and sinkholes. So, ano nga ba ang sinkholes? A sinkhole is a depression in the ground that has no natural external surface drainage, wherein it is formed when the land surface above collapses or sinks into the cavities, or when surface material is carried downward into the void. And ang sinkhole is pwede ring mag-form dahil sa human activities gaya na lang ng over-withdrawal of groundwater. And isa pa ay ang pagkuha at paglipat ng surface water from a large area and concentrating it in a single point. So itong sinkhole ay dahil doon, it will leave a residue and open spaces or empty spaces, and doon na nabubuo yung sinkhole. And sinkhole can be small or huge and can occur where house or road is on top, gaya ng nasa picture. So, nasa taas yung house and yung mga dito, yung mga kotse wherein lumubog sila sa isang sinkhole. So, mayroon tayong papanoodin na short video clip about kung paano na-form yung sinkhole.
What causes sinkholes?
Maybe water.
This time you are absolutely correct.
Yippee!
A sinkhole is a depression or cavity in the ground which is caused by water erosion. Water erosion is a naturally occurring process in which water wears off soil and rocks.
Wow, water is so powerful.
Indeed. Now listen. The upper layers of the soil comprise of sand, clay, etc., while the bottommost layer, called bedrock, has rocks. Generally, sinkholes form in places where the bedrock layer has rocks made up of limestone or dolomite. When rain falls, it seeps into the soil, reaching the bedrock. Over time, the water dissolves these rocks and thus erodes them, forming hollow cavities. As these cavities get bigger, the ceiling of the cavity, that is, the upper layers of soil, cannot hold the weight. Hence, they collapse, forming sinkholes.
So, meron din tayong ibang types or 3 different types of sinkholes. First is the dissolution sinkholes. These sinkholes are the result of there not being much ground cover like vegetation over the bedrock. So, sa gaya nga ng napanood natin, kapag walang mga ground cover or vegetation, proper vegetation yung isang soil or sa layer ng earth is, kapag umuulan, mag-dissolve and over time, pwede siyang magkaroon ng sinkhole. So, gaya lang nakikita niyo sa mga pictures na nandito. So, next is we also have cover subsidence sinkholes. These sinkholes start with something permeable covering the sinkhole while also containing a good deal of sand. This sediment begins to spill or spall, as the proper nomenclature refers to it, into those empty caverns among the bedrock. So, dito naman sa cover subsidence sinkholes, so, di ba nga sa layers ng soil is merong sand, and yung mga sand na yun is nag-i-spill siya sa mga diba sa ilalim ng soil is meron yung bedrock, so meron mga onting cracks doon, and yung sand na nasa top layer is nag-i-spill siya doon, and over time yung nagkakaroon ng sinkhole kasi nga yung nasa baba, yung my God. And then next is we also have cover collapse sinkholes. Perhaps the most well-known of sinkholes. Cover collapse sinkholes are also the most dramatic. The surface area above the bedrock in this instance is mostly clay. It falls into the cavity. But since the clay is sturdy, arcs form as it slowly spouts. So gaya dito sa picture, sabi the most dramatic because grabe talaga yung lalim. And kaya ito nag-form kasi minsan kapag yung sa mga groundwater, reservoir ng groundwater, kapag natuyot or nawala yung groundwater doon sa space na yon is pwede siyang mag-cause ng sinkhole because kapag yung top layer ng nasa na yon, reservoir is kapag di niya na nakayanan na i-hold, pwede siyang bumagsak and then ganyan yung mangyayari gaya ng nasa picture. Magkakaroon ng bilog. And parang yun nga, hole, kaya nga sinkhole. So next ay kailangan nating malaman kung ano ba yung mga signs na may sinkhole sa isang lugar or kung saan pwedeng magkaroon ng sinkhole para naman alam natin kung saan yung kailangan nating iwasan at kung ano yung kailangan nating gawin. So first na signs a sinkhole may appear is in a round circular depression in the earth. So gaya lang sa mga nakikita natin ng mga pictures sa mga sinkholes na ayun nga yung sa mga round circular depression which is merong mga open space na circular is pwedeng doon is magkaroon ng sinkhole. So second is localized subsidence or depression anywhere on property or mga lugar na nagkaroon ng paghupa na pwedeng anywhere sa properties ninyo. Kaya kailangan nyo ding i-check yung paligid nyo kung okay lang ba siyang pagtamnan or kung merong any damages. Gaya nga nung sa binalita nila noon na hindi nila alam na yung pinagtatayuan pala nila is sinkhole na yun. So third is a circular lake or a large deep puddle. So pwede din magkaroon sa mga lake or sa mga sa dagat, pwede rin siya. Gaya nga nung sa binalita sa Romblon sa lake nila, which is merong sinkhole doon sa kanila. And then, yun nga, kailangan maging maingat tayo and kailangan maging observant tayo sa mga nakapaligid sa atin kasi di natin alam kung kailan ang disgrasya. So, fourth, a foundation settling. So, dito sa a foundation settling is sa mga foundation ng pinagtatayuan ng mga bahay-bahay or mga structures kasi nga, diba, sa underground, hindi natin alam kung sa ilalim ba nun ay meron siyang crack or meron pala doon is yung walang tubig na ground reservoir. And pwedeng mag-collapse yung top layer ng soil na pinag-anuhan ninyo. So, fifth is crack in roads or pavement. Kasi ngayon nga, diba, yung mga cracks sa mga dito sa layers ng soil natin is pwede talaga siyang magkaroon, possible na meron siyang sinkhole or pwede rin hindi. Pero, mas magandang maging maingat na tayo. So, sixth, a sudden drop of well water levels on site. So, ayun na yung gaya ng nasa video kanina, yung nakita natin. And, di ba nga kasi kapag bigla ang nawalan ng tubig yung sa mga water levels is parang di mo alam, makikita mo kung gaano kalalim and maituturing din yung sinkhole. Last is rainwater disappearing into ground openings. So, gaya nga din nung nasa video na pinanood natin kanina, na yung rainwater is pwede talaga siyang mag-cause ng sinkhole kapag hindi firm yung soil or yung top layer ng soil. So, next is we have landslide. So, hindi naman nagbago sa atin to dahil alam na natin and most common na pangyayari na palaging nangyayari dito sa ating bansa at hindi lang ito, kundi pati sa ibang bansa. So, what is landslide? Landslide are a group of landforms created by the downslope movement of rock or soil due to gravity. So, yung mga nakikita natin na yung soil is moving downwards sa mga talampas, di ba? Or most commonly sa mga bundok, kapag hindi kaya na pag hindi kaya na ng soil na hawakan yung ano niya is magko-collapse siya, and yun, magkakos siya ng landslide. Landslide can be grouped by scale where they occur cause either a one-off event or long-term movement, dominant type of movement. Example, fall, topple, slide, spread, flow, or creep. So, ayun nga sa landslide, pwedeng siyang mag-fall yung soil, pwede rin siyang mag-topple, which is yung, ano lang siya, parang apart, parang ganun, a part of it is magkaganon siya. And slide, pwede siyang mag-slide yung soil, and pwede rin siyang mag-spread, and pwede rin siyang mag-flow just like water or creep. Landslide cause high mortality and few injuries. These are the few injuries and that landslide may cause. Trauma and suffocation by entrapment are common. So, syempre, kapag na-anuhan tayo ng soil or nagka-landslide habang nasa daan tayo is, pwede talaga tayong magka-trauma dun na, di ba, syempre, habang naglalakad ka lang, tapos di mo alam, mababagsakan ka na pala ng any debris or soil dyan. And kapag nabagsakan tayo, most especially kapag nasa kotse tayo is, makaka-feel talaga tayo ng suffocation. Kasi nga, natrap tayo dun sa loob. Short and long-term mental health effects are observed. So, yun nga, dahil, pwede kang ma-traumatize. Mas lalo na yung mga naging victims or nakakita at naka-experience ng landslide sa lugar nila. The impact on lifetime system, water system, hospital, health center, energy, and lines of communication. So, kapag nagla-landslide kasi, di ba, maraming matatamaan yan. Gaya ng sa tsunami, di ba? Pero yun is water siya. And yung landslide sa soil or any debris. And pwedeng kapag nagkaroon ng landslide is pwedeng ma-block yung roads which can affect the lives of the people that is in the area. So, pwede rin ma-affect yung lines of communication, which is kasi, di ba sa road meron yung mga poste-poste doon. Pwede rin siyang matabunan ng soil or that is caused by landslide. So, maraming magiging epekto ito at ayun. Present in the path of the landslide is massive. So, ayun nga. So, next is we have different types of landslide. Landslide in bedrock. Rock falls. Single and small rock falls from cliffs build up to form aprons of scree or talus, sometimes developing over long time period. So, gaya ng nasa picture dito sa gilid, ayan yung apron of scree or talus na nag-form galing sa taas ng cliff. So, next is rock slope failures. This group of landslide varies greatly in features. It is the downward and outward movement of a mass on top of a concave upward failure surface. So next is rotational landslide. Occur where more resistant rocks founder over underlying weaker rocks. Multiple failures may produce spectacular whole mountain side collapse, as at Trotternish in Skye and at Halayig in Rasay. So, dito naman sa rotational landslide, it commonly shows slow movement. Kasi nga, nakikita nyo dito sa picture, di ba, yung pa-curve niya. Itong rotational landslide kasi, nag-occur siya kapag yung nasa baba na layer ng soil is mas stronger or mas firm siya kaysa sa nasa taas. Mas weaker yung nasa taas na soil, kaya yun nag-collapse siya and ayun, nagkakaroon ng landslide. So next is we have debris flows. So hindi naman nabago sa atin kung ano yung debris flows, and lagi na din natin itong naririnig sa science or sa earth and life science natin noon. So debris flows are Scotland's most common type of landslide hazard. They range in character from sloppy wet mud flows to slurries of rock debris similar in texture to wet concrete. A debris flow often starts off as a translational slide, but the water and rubble mix as the slide moves down slope. So ayun, nagmi-mix yung water and rubble as it moves down slope, forming a slurry that flows. Debris flows often leave a trail of rubble in their wake, forming distinctive ridges or leaves. Creep. Creep is the slow downslope movement of material under gravity. It generally occurs over large areas. So makikita natin dito, merong nakalagay na curved tree trunk, tilted fence, broken retaining wall, and tension troughs. So, malalaman natin na merong slow movement or creep kung merong curved tree trunk. Ibig sabihin curve yung trunk ng tree dahil nasa slope. And tilted fence or parang basta na-tilt siya. And broken retaining wall. And meron din yung tension rock. So, meron yung three main impacts ng creep. So, curved tree trunk, tilted fence, and broken retaining wall. So, meron tayong three types of creep. First is seasonal movement or creep within the soil. Second is processes continuous creep. And lastly, progressive creep. So first, dito tayo sa seasonal movement or creep within the soil. Due to seasonal changes in soil moisture and temperature. Example is frost heave, wherein frost heave is an upward swelling of soil during freezing conditions caused by an increasing presence of ice as it grows towards the surface, upwards from the depth in the soil where freezing temperature have penetrated into the soil. So, siguro parang mostly ito sa kapag mayroong water, kasi diba, ayun, water and kapag nagkaroon ng seasonal changes is nagiging ice minsan yung nagkakaroon ng ice sa water, ganun. Or pwede rin siguro sa snow. So next is processes continuous creep, where the soil and rock debris isn't strong enough to resist gravity. So makikita nyo dito, ayan. So merong nahuhulog ng mga debris kasi nga yun, yung soil or rock debris is not strong enough to resist the gravity. So lastly, progressive creep, where the soil and rock debris suddenly reaches a critical state such that it will fail due to other factors. Next is solifluction. Solifluction is a mixture of creep and flow, which forms distinctive sheets, terraces, and lobes of debris and boulders. Solifluction sheets and loops are found on steeper slopes where the process has moved loosened boulders and soil downslope. Translational slides. Such slumps and slides occur in very wet weather, when the near-surface soil and rock debris get saturated with water and slides and flows downslopes. They can develop into more dangerous debris flows on steep ground, where the landslide may travel a long distance, churning up the debris into a slurry. So nakikita nyo dito sa picture, meron siya nakalagay na original position and moving block. So dito sa translational slides is meron siyang parang nag-crack, gano'n. Or meron siyang original position. And doon siya nag-collapse. Kaya nagkaroon ng landslide or babagsak yung debris or soil na galing doon. So, yung pinagkaiba ng rotational and translational is, yung rotational is shows slow movement. While dito naman sa translational slides, it commonly show rapid movement. Kasi di ba nga, dito is parang diretso na babagsak sa baba. Ayun. So, next is meron tayo ditong illustration. Ayan. First is rotational landslide. Ayan yung picture. Makikita nyo dyan kung paano. Yun yung merong part na yung stronger soil is nasa baba and yung weaker is nasa taas. Kaya yun yung nag-cause. Kaya nag-collapse siya and nag-cause ng landslide. So, next is translational landslide. Ayan, nakita nyo yung may part lang siya. Ayun. So, next is block slide. Fourth, rock fall. Yun, yung nahulog yung mga rocks. Small rocks na nag-create ng aprons of leaves. Fifth is topple. Sixth, debris flow. Seventh, debris avalanche. Eighth, earth flow. Ninth, creep, and lastly, lateral spread. So, meron tayo ditong landslide warning sign. So, kapag nakita nyo tong warning sign na to, ibig sabihin, pwedeng possible na magkaroon ng landslide doon sa dinadaanan nyo or sa area na yon. So, kailangan be careful tayo kapag and be aware kapag may nakita tayong debris na nagpa-flow or bumabagsak. Changes in your landscape such as patterns of storm water, drainage on slopes, especially the places where runoff water converges, land movement, small slides, flows, or progressively leaning trees. So, ayun nga, sign na merong na magkakaroon ng landslide or pwede magkaroon ng landslide is merong land movement. So, di ba nga, kapag nagkakaroon ng earthquake, asahan na rin natin na magkakaroon ng landslide, especially sa mga nasa mountains or sa mountains. And small slides, flows, ayun, kapag meron nag-flow galing sa cliff or sa taas, or progressively leaning trees, kapag, ayun, nag-tilt na yung trees. Doors or windows stick or jam for the first time. New cracks appear in plaster, tile, brick, or foundations. Outside walls, walks, or stairs begin pulling away from the building. Ayun. So, effects of this hazard. Ano nga ba yung effect ng landslide hazards and sinkhole hazards? So, when sinkholes occur in urban areas, they can result in the partial and complete collapse of overground structures in damages to infrastructure, cause high economic losses, evacuation, and displacement of residents, and can, in some rare cases, lead to loss of lives. And landslide can cause seismic disturbances. Landslide can also result from seismic disturbances, and earthquake-induced slides have caused loss of life in many countries. Slides can cause disastrous flooding, particularly when landslide dams across streams are breached and flooding may trigger flights. So ayun, in worst case scenario is yung effect ng mga hazard na yan is that can cause lives. So ayun, aside from damage structures and properties, ayun, pwede siya mag-cause ng life. So, kailangan be aware tayo and alam natin yung mga signs kung pwedeng maging prone ka ba sa landslide or yung pwede bang maging prone sa landslide or sinkhole yung area mo. Various direct methods of preventing landslide. Modifying slope geometry, using chemical agents to reinforce slope material, installing structures such as piles and retaining walls, grouting rock joints and fissures, diverting debris pathways, rerouting surface and underwater drainage. So, ayun guys, kailangan maging aware tayo and knowledgeable tayo sa mga signs ng landslide and sinkhole para alam natin kung safe yung area na tinatapakan natin or sa mga area na pinupuntahan natin. At ayun lang, lagi lang tayong maging maingat and maging observant. So bago namin itapos tong lesson is meron tayong papanoodin na small video clip which we can gather more information and para maging aware din tayo sa mga nangyayari sa bansa natin. Ayan, so panoodin natin.
What to do before landslide?
Make and discuss a family communication plan.
Prepare an emergency survival kit. Family communication plan includes
Address and phone numbers of parents including office address and landline. Siblings including school, neighbors and relatives.
pick a meeting place when you need to leave your home or your neighborhood needs to evacuate.
Draw a map of your neighborhood. Include your home, school, and your meeting place.
Draw a floor plan for your house emphasizing predetermined way out or exit point.
Out-of-town contacts.
Medical contacts
Family information.
and insurance information. Follow proper land use procedures. Avoid
Building near steep slopes.
close to mountain edges,
Near drainage ways or
along natural erosion valley.
become familiar with the land around you.
Know if the area has experienced debris flows. If it has occurred in the past, it is more likely to experience it in the future.
Get a ground assessment of your property.
Consult a professional for advice on appropriate preventive measure to protect your property.
Planting ground cover plants in slopes and building retaining walls will help to hold the soil.
In mud flow areas, build channels or deflection walls to direct the flow around buildings. Beware, however, if you build walls to divert debris flow and the flow lands in your neighborhood's property, you may be liable for the damages.
If insured, talk to your insurance agents.
What to do during landslides?
Evacuate immediately if warned of an impending landslide or mudslide.
Get out of the building as soon as possible when rumbling sounds are heard from upstream or the trembling of the ground is felt, indicating a possible mudflow.
Hello, sir. Please inform everyone that is near the volcano. Tell them to go out of the volcano as soon as possible, sir, and please evacuate immediately.
Stay away from the path of landslide debris or seek refuge behind a sturdy tree or boulder.
Run across a slope, not downwards. What to do after landslides?
Recommend to proper authorities to examine thoroughly the damaged structures and utilities before reoccupying facilities.
Stay away from landslide area. There may be a danger of additional landslides.
with caution injured and trapped person within the landslide area. Direct rescuers to their location.
Listen to local radio or television stations for the latest emergency information.
Seek the advice of a geotechnical expert for evaluating landslide hazards or designing corrective